Thanks for joining us today at noon. I'm Jurnee Taylor. Let's get a look at our top headlines. A new year means some new laws in Arkansas. We're taking a look at how some could impact health care coverage in our state. Plus, fighting inflation in 2024, a preview of a new program coming to help families in need. And the King Cotton Classic has tipped off in Pine Bluff today. We're talking to players and coaches about the excitement of the annual tournament. But first, let's have a check of weather with meteorologist Nathan Scott. Hey there, Nathan.
Good afternoon, Jurnee. We start off the day with lots of sun. Cold front made its way through. The winds have picked up, and behind this front, we're seeing a bank of clouds make their way into central Arkansas. And those clouds are really doing a number on the temperatures because it's 35 in Fayetteville, 38 in Mena. We got up to 51 here in Little Rock. So the farther south and east that you are, the temperatures will be able to be in the 50s this afternoon. Meanwhile, off to northwest, it is going to be a chilly day. I talked about those winds. Here they are, cranking in from the west and northwest about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Gusts as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that adds a bite to the air. Mena, you feel like 30 at this time. Wind chills in the 20s in Fayetteville and Harrison, and those numbers will be making their way into central Arkansas. The radar loop is all quiet at this time, but you can see that circulation through central Missouri, and those bands of snow are going to try to make their way into northern parts of Arkansas over the next few days. Our weather story today, the temperatures primarily will stay steady or slowly drop as the day continues, and those wind chills, or what it will feel like out there, will be into the 30s, so make sure you bundle up. I'll let you know more about that snow potential and how long these chilly temperatures will be sticking around coming up.
All right, Nathan, thank you. Well, the new year is just a few days away, and with it, several new laws here in Arkansas. Now, some of the biggest are focused on providing better health care coverage, including mental health. As CHV 11, Sarah Hobakowicz shows us, two of the new laws specifically focus on helping new mothers and people that work in public safety.
The first step in solving any challenge, any problem, is identifying it as such. Right?
As a licensed therapist and new mom herself, Natasha Thorne understands the importance of postpartum mental health care.
Those middle of the night moments, those, up by myself, or, just those times where the baby's upset, all of these things go into the mental health.
In an effort to support new moms, on January 1st, Act 316 will go into effect in Arkansas, a new law requiring doctors to screen new moms for depression and have insurance companies cover the cost. Thorne says it's a game changer.
Screening is your first line of defense. Some moms may not even recognize it as such. They may not even realize that, oh, what I'm going through is depression. Oh, that there is help available.
A second law taking effect next week also pushes to make mental health care more accessible in the state. Act 537 will require a public employer to cover counseling for public safety employees after a traumatic event on duty, including first responders like Jeff Bennett with the North Little Rock Fire Department.
There are certain runs that hit us a little bit harder than others. Kids, children, people losing their homes, they're having their worst day of their life, and we go experience that with them.
These services will be required to be available not just to firefighters, but also officers for police, probation, surveillance, and juvenile detention.
Mental health is something that takes its toll on you. No matter how strong you are, it can take its toll on you.
According to the CDC, law enforcement officers and firefighters are more likely to die by suicide than in the line of duty. Bennett hopes the better access to mental health services and less of a stigma around the topic will help everyone who needs it.
We look out for each other, but having a professional to be able to reach out to makes a big difference. This could be a lifesaver.
Now, if you want to look at the other new laws going into effect next year, just head over to our website. That's thv11.com. Developing now at noon, a fourth arrest in a string of shootings in the town of Hope. Hope police now say they've arrested 23-year-old Randy Caldwell Jr. He's in jail on 3 shooting charges and 37 counts of terroristic acts. Police already arrested 2 teens and 1 adult for the shootings. Fortunately, no one was hurt in the shootings earlier this month. Also developing at noon, a possible suspect in a double shooting in Shannon Hills is now in jail. The shooting happened Tuesday on Katy Lane, just off Wyoming Ridge Road. Shannon Hills police say 1 person died and another was shot. but is recovering. We now know that a 61-year-old man is in the Saline County Detention Center without bond, charged with first-degree murder and aggravated assault. Since police haven't confirmed his name, we aren't reporting on it just yet. Police also haven't identified either victim, but we're working to get that information as well. New at noon, 2 White House officials are in Mexico today to address the migrant crisis on the southern border. It comes as thousands of men, women, and children are walking north from southern Mexico, hoping to reach the U.S. Nicole Skanga has the latest from today's meeting with Mexican officials.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas left for Mexico City ahead of a meeting with Mexican President Andrés López Obrador. They're hoping to push Obrador into doing more to stem the sharp rise in the number of migrants reaching the border the U.S. shares with Mexico. Arrivals topped 10,000 on multiple days last week, and U.S. border communities are overwhelmed with the growing needs, especially as the weather gets colder.
People are always here in this shopping center parking lot begging for food.
President Obrador has said he's willing to do more, but wants the Biden administration to ease sanctions on Cuba and Venezuela and increase aid to Latin America. Earlier this week, an estimated 6,000 migrants began a trek north from southern Mexico, and so far, Mexican authorities have done little to stop them. Others have tried to travel on top of trains. Venezuelan Haley Peraza says she's been trying to reach the U.S. for 3 months with her partner and 3 children. The stakes of today's meeting are high for President Biden. A recent CBS News poll shows immigration ranks second among the most important problems facing Americans today, right behind inflation. Today, the president left for a vacation in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Former President Trump, who could face Biden in the 2024 election, released a new TV ad ahead of the New Hampshire primary, promising to build more wall and prevent terrorists from entering into the United States. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, the White House.
Also new at noon, Michigan's Supreme Court is keeping former President Donald Trump on the state's primary election ballot. The court said today it will not hear an appeal of a lower court's ruling from groups seeking to keep Trump from appearing on the ballot. The ruling follows a recent decision by Colorado Supreme Court, which said Trump is ineligible to be president after his role in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The Colorado case is expected to head now to the U.S. Supreme Court. Well, some welcome news for your wallet headed into 2024. Inflation is down from a record high 9% to just 3%. It's a big difference you might see when you're shopping for groceries. And now, as Yvonne Cooper explains, a new federal program could help millions of families.
Seen for the first time 15 consecutive months of deflation.
That means some food prices are going down just in time for 2024.
Are we better off? You bet we're better off.
It's welcomed relief for families.
3% is much better than 9%.
In June of 2022, pandemic-era inflation peaked at 9.1%, the highest since the early 1980s. But look how things have changed. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports this year, the price of eggs fell 22% in November. The price of milk is also down. Right now, not much has changed for most meats and veggies, but the cost of bread and cereal is up more than 10%. So while some items are less expensive, the sticker shock at the store isn't completely gone. Economist Dr. John Ganeschke says that's due in part to supply and demand.
You remember we had the Ukraine invasion by Russia that caused oil prices to escalate dramatically. All of those oil prices were passed on to consumers.
Looking ahead to the new year, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Tom Vilsack is announcing a new federal summer program that could help cut costs on your grocery bill.
The good news is that in 2024, we will, for the first time ever, have a permanent summer feeding program that will provide for the families of free and reduced lunch children as much as $40 a month per child for 3 months.
The program, Summer EBT, is more money for families in addition to any WIC or SNAP benefits they already receive. According to its website, the program could help feed more than 29 million children next summer. A new way to reduce hunger and save money, one meal at a time.
There's nothing like some holiday break basketball. Still ahead at noon, we have a look at the impact of the King Cotton Classic as the games now get underway.
And windier, chillier conditions are moving in from the west as the clouds really take over the skies here in central Arkansas. It's going to be a cool afternoon. I do have some warmer temperatures to talk about in my 7-day forecast coming up next.